All right, so we are on. So our agenda for today, just to recap, we're going to talk about what's working well with you and your mentees, any issues or concerns that you all have, and based on feedback in you all survey, a common topic was building positive community and with reluctant learners. Like that specific language wasn't used, but learners like repeater classes, student trying to address the needs of students in those classes and help the teacher in those classes. So we're going to talk about how to create that community. Our next social interaction, so we'll talk about my ideas for that, and then if you will have additional ideas, and then any additional questions or concerns that we don't bring up that you may have, that's pretty much what we'll do at the end. So how does that sound?
Great.
That sounds good.
Okay, so to start off with, what's working well with you all? What are some positives that you have to share with your relationships with your mentees?
I mean, what's working well for us is just that we get to see each other formally and informally, fairly frequently. So I think that's working well. I mean, I think she's comfortable talking to me in a way where, she can comfortably talk about the challenges and the struggles and be open about those types of things that she's feeling, like on an emotional level. So I think for us, those two things are working really well.
Okay, Caroline, anything for you? And feel free to share anything positive that's happened as well.
Right. So I think with Don and I, usually, we're usually talking on the phone once a month for like an hour to an hour and a half, and he'll basically just, go through everything that's been happening in his classroom and, just issues that he's been dealing with, things that he's having trouble with and wants to get my feedback on, and then I think like really early in the year, he was saying that one of his classes that was giving him a lot of discipline issues was happening at the end of the day, and that at the end of the day he always felt really negative and really tired, and so I encouraged him to at the end of the day go through positive things that were happening in his classroom or things that he was happy about. And so in our conversations now, he's very good about bringing up positive things that are happening in the classroom that he feels good about. So that usually happens. And then I'll ask him, we'll talk about stuff outside of school too, like where he's going for vacation or whatever.
Good, because it is easy, especially as a critical thinker and people who have, stereotypically been successful in school, to be reflective and critical of yourself and to only see those negative things, like all the things that have gone wrong in your lesson, and forget that some things are actually going well. So that's good that you all had that conversation and kind of helped redirect his focus to see some of the things that are actually positive, because there probably are plenty of positives,
Yeah.
So do you all have any issues or concerns that you want to address? And this could be with your relationship or something specific that one of your mentees have brought up.
Let's see. I mean, just some stress that Courtney and everybody's feeling is just, we lost all those instructional days, and she's teaching an AP class this semester, so, that test comes up in May, so it's, even less days. So with regards to struggle, she's feeling stressed out about the pacing, as I think everybody is pretty much stressed out about. But specific problems, I think like that with her, like planning, trying to find the makeup days, or like days to make up all those ones we missed. And she has a class that has a lot of tardies, so she's been trying to, combat tardies in a way that isn't just writing them up so then they get in ISS, because that's it's her lower level class, so that's just the cycle that those students get in, and then it's not helping them at all find success. So those were two specific things we've been talking about.
Regarding the attendance and the tardies, what things has she already tried as far as like recognition or motivation to help support students or encouraging them to get to class on time?
She's been trying to implement some positive reinforcements, which is, I've been trying to sell that to everybody I know, just, rewarding all the positives that the students are doing, even if it's not perfection. So she had been coming up with ideas for like student of the week type thing, like, this student got to class like every day for a week. And also just she has like a star wall for more of like academic success things. But she's starting to implement some of those strategies that are, I think, going to be positive in the long run.
Okay. And forgive me if you already said, which period of the day is it where she's having those targets?
I think it's not, it's whatever class she has, her, like, it's like the intro to math, I think.
So I think is that her third period? Because that's the one that also has a split lunch.
It might be that one that has this. I forget. She switched her planning period this semester, and I forget what planning period she has now. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was third period, because all of us that have split lunch and have standard or lower level classes are kind of, struggling with that same, double set of tardies every day from some people.
Okay, and I just wanted to ask, because if it was first period, I know interventions would be different because some students aren't in control of how they get to school. But, well, let me pause and welcome Will. Hi, Will. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good to see you. So, Will, if you want to chime in, or Caroline, anything that ideas that you all have as far as addressing tardies to class, or positive ways to reinforce or to focus on the students who are getting to class on time?
Something I've done in the past is kind of a class reward system. If we have like perfect attendance or nobody tardy for like the whole week, and if another incentive if everybody shows up, because some of those classes you don't really somebody's going to be absent almost every day, and I've had I don't know why they're huge fans of Bojangles, but for a quarter, if out of the whatever days, if there was no more than 5 days where somebody wasn't tardy or something, then I would have some type of party for them, or give them some type of incentive. And I would always poll the class and ask them like what they wanted their incentive to be, and that has worked in the past, and it hasn't. So I've had both success and on with it. Mostly more success than not. And even if it's incentive on quiz or test, because some classes like that better. And that means that it requires nothing mental, like to be on time, and that's something that everybody could do. And the class they were on each other about it. So it did work mostly, as opposed to not.
Caroline, do you have anything additional to add?
No, I was going to suggest like pretty much the same thing.
I would add to what Will said. If Courtney decided to do something whole class in addition to like the individual recognition, maybe start small with, if for 2 days in a row, if everyone can come back from lunch on time, X will happen or Y will happen. And one of the things that I learned was in my classroom, I had a rule: there was no food or drinks. And so I don't know if she has that policy, but one of my rewards, so that didn't necessarily have to go out and buy anything, I would say, all right, if you all meet this requirement, then on Friday, you all can bring food to class to eat. And that way I didn't have to buy it, and I didn't have to go get it. But they still felt like a reward to them because I was allowing them to eat in class.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I would do what Will said too, and do the Bowberry biscuits, because they really do love them. So hopefully, Courtney will be able to put in something and try to convince the class to start improving those behaviors. Any other issues or concerns that you want to try to talk out as a group before we get to the building positive community? While they're looking, Will, I just want to check in with you. Do you have anything positive to share that's been happening with you and Greg, or anything that's working well with you all's relationship?
So I mean, we do see each other every day. Still, just look across the hall and see him. But he's had some successes in a few of his classes, and especially his honors class, making it seem like a real honors class. And even though there's students in there that's just there mainly because they have better behavior issues and not so much honors, but still getting success out of that. He's instead of giving them their study guide like maybe 2 days before the test, I told him maybe give it to them before the unit started, so the students can see, kind of work ahead and see, like what they might know and what they might not know, as opposed to having just 2 days for that, and that's helped some of the students in that class a little bit. So he's having some success in mostly all of his classes.
Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Beth, I see you made it in.
I did. Sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay. I saw your email right before we got started, so I knew that you were going to join us later, so no problem. We're all here. Do you want to check in real quick with anything positive that's been happening with your relationship with Matt, or anything that's been working well?
He called me for the first time this month.
Good.
That's so cute.
And it sounds like he had a really good positive story to tell about, and he sounded really excited about it, so I was glad to hear it. One of his students has been pretty MIA at school, and Matt took the initiative to kind of call him and seek out what was going on and talk to the mother, and the girl showed up, and she's amazing, and she's doing really good work. She's just having a hard time getting there, but I think the fact that he showed interest in her and was curious about her, and that she had potential, and she really clearly it resonated with her, so she was coming to class. And I mean, it had only been a couple days, but I think she was the first one done with one of the assignments already, so I think she has the potential. It's just hard for her to get to school and that kind of thing. So he was excited about it because he really felt like he made an impact, and it sounds like he definitely has. So I hope it continues. So it's a good story.
Great, that is good. It is good especially when you have that one success. Sometimes it can just make you forget about all those other things that didn't go well that day.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so in our agenda, we're now at building positive community with reluctant learners, and so I know at least two. Matt and Courtney have classes with students who are in basically a repeater class, and they're having issues with getting the students invested, building like community, and I saw this from you all's feedback, and just trying to figure out how to restructure the class because it's different because everybody in there knows that everyone did not pass last semester. So I mean, you can imagine, some of you've probably seen classes like that. You might have taught classes like that before. So just and if any of you mentors want to give more specific detail, please do so. But just want to spend some time talking about what are some things they can do, keeping in mind what the population, that specific population that they're trying to reach, what can they do to get the kids invested, to build community, and to make the most, and just to try to teach them, something to help them advance from where they were when they came into that math class.
I've been thinking about this a lot, just because Courtney, I know, is trying to figure out a solution to this, and I teach classes like this too. But one thing I think that would be kind of neat, especially if Matt and Courtney, it's the same class, it's like Intro to Math, I think, right, Beth?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're the same period, but it would be kind of neat to maybe partner them up sometimes, or have some sort of, not competition per se, but some sort of like interaction with the two teams, two groups of students. I don't know, I think that could be a place for some sort of, positive, I don't want to say competition, because it's like these kids kind of already have lost a sort of competition for their math class last semester, but maybe something can be done along those lines.
I think that's a good idea. Kind of give them something to work towards, or, I mean, I think a healthy competition could be a good thing.
Yeah, or even like some sort of like pen pal situation, like they get like a math partner in the other class, and even if it was like, because I know they're doing a lot of common planning, they're planning together, and I'm sure they're doing a lot of the same assessments. It would even be like, what did your partner get on this test, or like, do you want to, they could like maybe swap and grade each other's homework assignments. I don't know, just something to have them take some ownership of some of the learning that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, Micah, that's funny because I did get to speak with Matt at our Hangout last week, and shared basically the same thing that you're saying now, and I told him that if they're doing, because I think he said they do a lot of computer activities and games, I believe,
Yeah,
and that has been...
It's like Reading Plus, but for math or something like that, where they do like, I think it's kind of like a module that's self-paced and kind of gives them like puts them in a certain place where it's self-motivated. I think they've been trying to do it once or twice a week.
I know, because sometimes there are like review games where there's like a score at the end, and maybe at the end their class can have a score. If they have 4 teams within their class and they add all their scores together. And so it's not like a set number that they have to reach, but let's say Matt's class, their final class score was 20, and then challenge, like their class would kind of challenge Courtney's class, and let's say their final class score was 25 or whatever. So whatever number they get, that's the high achieving number. So it's not like they're trying to get 100 or whatnot, but just pushing and challenging each other to either, or maybe just improve their scores. Like from the last time they played, our class improved 5 points. How many points did your class improve? Or something to build kind of like some type of camaraderie between the two.
Or even, it could just go back to the like getting the class on time, tardies, like even something like that too that they could keep track of as like a little, competition or comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline or Will, do you have any other suggestions or things that you all might have tried?
Well, this is kind of something small, but I think for the students that are in these repeater classes that really aren't very confident with math at all, I mean, it might be a good thing to try maybe taking a small section of the class period and devoting it to, teaching them, some sort of mental math so that they get more comfortable with like basics that they might be struggling with. Because I know that when I was teaching in my Algebra 2 class, I would do, like division problems in my head, and the students wouldn't understand how to do that. And when I told them how to do it, they would get really excited because it was easy to them. And I think showing those kids that math can be easy and that they can understand it, and kind of getting that number sense will give them a little bit more confidence for the other stuff, the more difficult stuff that they have to learn.
I remember, there's got to be tons of mental math games like that. One of my middle school teachers, we would end every math class with that 24 game. Like that one where they give you a series of numbers and you have to figure out how you can get it to equal 24. So it's it could just be 2 and 12, and that's an easy one, 2 times 12. But that might be good to have them do games and things like that, and maybe, do we know if they are the same period of the day? If they were, that would be amazing.
They're
I
not
can't
the same.
imagine that they are. Math's is fourth period. I know that.
And Courtney's is third.
Okay.
Something else they might consider trying, and this would require them reaching out to their department members, maybe a teacher who has planning during the time they're teaching their class, maybe once a week, could come in and either team teach or divide the class into smaller groups and potentially take out half the class back to their room. I don't know how they do with floaters, but at Hillside, I think my last year, there were no open rooms during planning period because teachers were floating. But if there are open rooms during those planning periods, maybe somebody could come take half the class out and do a smaller, just have smaller classroom settings at least maybe once a week, and maybe if there are multiple teachers on planning, have maybe some type of rotation system where 1 week is one teacher on their plan and the next week is another teacher, and maybe for 45 minutes do something where it kind of breaks the class down and just changes up that routine of straight 90 minutes in one class with the same teacher.
Mm. I like that idea.
Yeah, we have for our Math 1B class, now granted it's considered to be an inclusion class, but there's the two teachers and they pull them out a lot, and so they're in my classroom during my planning to do some remedial work if they need to. And it's just nice just to cut, like you said, to cut your class in half and work closer with. But there's two teachers in the room all the time, so it's not that I'm teaching.
Yeah.
It's the one special ed teacher and then the math teacher, so that's a good idea. They could do it.
Yeah.
Sent him a whole bunch of computer activities to do. I didn't know if Courtney was going to the computer lab like he was, but just different games that I have found online or activities. And so, but the problem is it takes time to go through them, and then plan a lesson. But that might, I think the fact that they go to a computer lab has got to be nice to get them out of the classroom and, kind of work individually too, or as a pair, but.
Anybody else on building the community? Okay. The next one is the next item on our agenda is our social interaction. I can't remember if we talked about this or if this idea came from Kate, but getting together at the noise conference that's going to be on the 27th.
Oh, yeah.
So that might be a good time. After it's over, people go hang out together. Did we talk about that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I know we had talked about another event, but there might have been Kate who had brought it up as an idea to get together afterwards for like I can't. What time does the conference end? I can't remember.
I think it's 8 to 4.
8 to 4. So I guess that would be like dinner.
Or is it 8 to 3 now after that email?
Oh yeah, I scanned that email. I have to. Does anyone have that email?
It's supposed to be 4. Yes, I do. And I think it got moved because of the room, and I think it's until 3 now.
I know they cut down my presentation time.
Yes.
8 to 3?
I think it's 8 to 3. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So maybe then with everybody, I think everybody's supposed to come still, even with a new date. So we can just do something informal. If I don't know if it should come from one of you versus me, so it doesn't seem so technical. But would anyone want to be in charge of like just getting everyone together to hang out afterwards?
So do you want to do it someplace in Durham? Is that what you're thinking, like off Duke's campus?
Whatever is convenient for you all. Like, what do you all think?
Is it still in the same? Where is it going to be? Is it in the? It's not in the Dave Thomas place, right?
Mm-mm.
It's going to be back in
The business school or something.
Where the building that the program of education is in. What's that building called?
Oh.
West Duke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that correct, or am I?
I thought it was in the
Back on
engineering
his campus?
Oh, wait a minute. I couldn't hear because we were both speaking. Beth, what did you say?
I thought it was in the engineering building. Isn't it Pratt School of Engineering?
Okay, I might be wrong.
I was hoping she was going to send something back out because I need to remember.
Because I got it changed. All right, so I meet with Heather tomorrow, and I will make sure to send out.
Send along a little reminder, parking, time, meeting place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so just pretend I didn't say West Duke because I might be really wrong. And I will make sure that we get an email to you all with the correct details.
Thank you.
Okay. So maybe that can just happen informally. It doesn't have to be anything formal that we plan. Like once you all get together and then decide, or.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be nice if it is till 3. Maybe we could even just have like. Maybe we can send out an email to everybody saying like, since we have that hour, let us just meet for that last hour. And if it is on campus, I mean, there's places to like go get a snack or a coffee, or I mean, isn't there like a bar in the Bryan Center or something now?
I don't even know. There might be. I feel like there should be.
Yeah, I think there is. There's like that pizza place in there. I think has a bar now. I mean, I don't. But I don't. People like to drink. So, but anyway, that would be kind of cool.
So that maybe someone could send out an email so that people can expect and know that that's going to be part of the plan.
Okay. I can send it out.
Yeah, do you have everyone's email?
I think so.
If not, just let me know, and
If
I can get
Ron
them to you.
emails, I mean, I have everybody. I mean, I have all the mentors' emails, and everyone except for Greg works at Riverside, so I can go Riverside. I can send out that email. So I'll send that out.
Rhonda, when was this email sent out about the conference?
I'm not sure because I don't think I was included on the email that was sent to you all.
Okay.
Actually, I wasn't. I don't think, unless I overlooked it, which could be possible.
Okay.
But I will make sure tomorrow when I meet with Heather that an email is sent out tomorrow, so that you all can know in advance and have those details.
Because I do know I have a meeting that day, so I might not be able to attend all of it.
Okay. So when she sends that email out, then you should probably respond to Heather because it'll be coming from her, and then she can you can let her know. Um, let's see. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
So we have, this is March. Do we still need to submit March's survey, I guess?
Yes. So this is going to be part of my additional comments or concerns, just some updates regarding dates and stuff. So right now we have remaining. So I'm going to send out a survey pretty much as soon as we're done with this so you all can evaluate and provide feedback on this Hangout. Next week, I'll be sending out the March monthly log. Okay. Yeah, that'll go out next week. Then you have, we'll have a Hangout session in April, which will also have a survey to go along with it. Then you'll have April's monthly log. Then in May, we'll have our last Mentor Google Hangout. And that date is going to be, we can actually leave it at the 19th, or I'll leave it up to you. If Tuesdays, I mean, if the Thursdays have been working better for you, we can move it to the Thursday of that week in May. But we could leave it at the 19th, because at that point my classes will be done, and so I won't be in class at 5.
When did you say there was the April Hangout?
The April Hangout is going to be, I did not say. So the April Hangout says April 21st. That will be on the 23rd, that Thursday.
Okay.
And so let's just keep with the Thursday theme. I'll just go ahead and call that. And so our last Mentor Hangout will be May 21st. And your last monthly log that you'll have to submit will be at the end of May.
Okay.
So total logs is March, April, and May. And then Hangouts, same thing, March, April, and May, because we have one each month. And we have the conference on March 27th. So.
Awesome.
Okay, let's see. We're trying to clean up the missing surveys. So after this, I'll also send you all some links to whether if it's feedback from a Hangout or if it might be a monthly log. I'll be sending those emails to you all after this, so that we make sure we're trying to clean up our data and make sure we don't have any loopholes in missing information. So expect that to come. And some of you have commented on adjusting some of the questions, and you made suggestions, and thank you so much for that, with regards to the monthly check-ins and monthly logs. Well, the monthly logs, basically. And I will take that back to Heather, and the changes that we make in the forms have to be IRB approved, because when we sent in the form, we had to show them what the logs would look like.
Oh.
So I'll try to get approval for that, and we have actually decided to add some technology-based questions to the survey, and we're waiting to get approval on that as well. So if that approval comes in our March survey, there'll be 4 additional questions in that log. But if not, it may be later. So, I mean, you'll see. So it's nothing, it's just 4 additional questions on the survey. So if you see them, that's why they're there. But everything has to be approved through IRB. So thank you for the suggestions for questions. And if you don't see them, it's because they'll have to be approved first. All right, and I think that's all that I have. And I will say, I talked to Caroline earlier this week, and I don't know how you all keep record of when you speak with your mentees, but she had shared that she takes notes. And so let's say if she didn't complete a log right away, she has her notes to go back to. So I didn't know if you all did the same thing, but I thought that was a really good suggestion. And I'm definitely going to make sure next year when we do the training in the fall that I suggest that, because I think that's very helpful, because with the hustle and bustle of things, if you get behind, it's much easier to look back at your notes versus try to remember what happened there. Okay. Any lasting questions, comments, or concerns?
Have you heard anything from Kate?
Oh, she emailed me like yesterday and was like, no baby yet. So I think they're still, she's in the waiting game, and any day now, her baby should be here. I can't wait, though. I know she's going to be so excited.
She's overdue, right? When did she do 15th?
Yeah, I think the 15th was like a estimated due date, but
yeah, so I know she's like, come on, baby.
yeah.
But if we hear anything, maybe we'll send out an announcement email to let everyone know.
Yeah.
Please
the
do.
little baby is here. Thank y'all so much for your hard work and the comments that you put in your feedback section, and working with the mentees, and they really do appreciate that relationship. I don't know how they always communicate that, but if they aren't communicating it to you, I know based on their reflections that they really, really appreciate having you all's ear and you all being a support system for them. So thank y'all so much.
You're welcome.
No problem.
We want good teachers to stay.
Okay. All righty then. So you all have a wonderful week and weekend, and I will see you next Friday.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everybody.